Everything's all good. But we are here with the BaeDCarry fan club versus Big Schmeat gang. So welcome. It'll be interesting because I'm pretty sure both teams are coming off of a loss last week. I know it was Nightmare on the Kindred going up against, I think it's Rubber Ducky team and the LP. All I recall is Velkaz. That Velkaz was disgusting. But I don't know who the BaeDCarry fan club lost to.
I can't recall either who they played. I haven't been able to keep up with a lot of the games other than the ones that I've casted.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, though, what do you think are some matchups to watch for?
I think the bot lane, having a new support come in for them, 1v Nami, I've never seen them play before. So I think that should be interesting to see if it's an upgrade in the support role or not. This will be her first game playing.
Yeah, I think that'll be big. I think the matchups across the board are going to be pretty good. I think that was a game where, it was aided on Mundo versus the Kindred. And that game we had, I think, 5 kills in like 22 minutes. So I think, they're going to hopefully draft something stronger for Nightmare instead of the Kindred. But I'm excited for this one. Okay. Cool.
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
So apparently both teams have a new player at support. I think BFC is filling. I think I remember when I was talking to BSG, they were trying to see if 1v Nami could start playing with them, but I could be wrong. But
yeah, Wonton. That's right. I think he played the Zyra. So that makes sense. I'm curious. So 1v Nami, obviously, they play Enchantress supports. I'm curious to see if we're going to see like a Morgana or something, some sort of Enchantress in the bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. I know last game was big on the counter sides of having Engage and then also having mages, but it's possible that both of these players will have mages with a name like 1v Nami.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, all the games that we've gotten this week have been pretty good. I mean, just bloodbaths across the board. I don't think we've had one like slow game yet this week. This will be the 4th of 5 games to be played. So again, I'm anticipating a lot of action.
Yeah, I know there was a game that went 50 minutes yesterday.
Yeah. Don't remind me, man. I played in that game. Don't remind me.
Castroma was super hyped casting after that game. I was like on Adderall.
Yeah, it was a fun game, but it was interesting. A lot of things we learned a lot of things that game. So above anything, it was good for limit testing. When in
Yeah,
doubt, it was purely limit testing.
normals. It was a normal
Yeah.
game. No, I actually didn't get to play this week though, so I'm a little disappointed since all the games were so good, and then my team missed out on it. Uh, Kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. There's always next week, right?
Hopefully, I think I play BFC next week. I could be wrong though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure who we play either. But again, all of the teams overall, they seem to be finding their stride now that we're dialing into week 4. Like, it's nice. It's refreshing to see. So, like I said, this game should be, another good game to watch. Just because
It,
some teams have taken like 1, 2, 3 weeks to kind of ramp up. Whereas hopefully, now that we're in the 4th week, you guys have some sort of synergy together.
I would say that the gap has closed a little bit between teams that kind of all knew each other and teams that were kind of like trying to formulate. So everybody just figuring out everybody's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe we are done with the pro draft, so we're getting into draft slot.
So we'll see what these first couple bans are. BFC is on the blue side, and they are going to ban out the Heckram first. A really strong pick, has a really good ganks into the early game and mid game. We saw it played yesterday, but it was more used as power farm. And then we have the Kaisa coming out. Kaisa's been looking really strong this patch, so it doesn't surprise me that they banned the Kaisa. She's with Kraken Slayer been looking insanely good right now. Definitely
Yeah,
a tier in the bot lane.
and she's a great ADC just because she does have like percent HP kind of built into her kit.
And also not surprising to see the Anivia banned.
Yeah.
Anivia is a insanely strong pick. I know that a lot of mid laners hate going up against it, and the Nautilus. So they're trying to get some engaged supports away from them. Nautilus, obviously one of the better engaged supports, very, very powerful, has a lot of damage, and very tanky, hard to get rid of. And then Samira. See, I haven't seen Samira been banned out a lot recently. A lot
Yeah,
of teams think she's not very good.
Intensify has played Samira quite a bit. I remember seeing him play in the preseason, and I think in the one game that they won, one of the games that they won, he was on Samira as well.
So it looks like we're gonna get the Cho'Gath versus Urgot. I haven't seen Urgot be played in a minute either.
Yeah, first to be picked in the league.
And then
So it'll be an
Ash playing
interesting
in the
top
jungle
line.
role. Ash is in the jungle role right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lane swap. Could maybe be seeing a lane swap. Yone also being picked up by Nightmare. So seeing a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
of
assuming
weird picks.
yeah. I think they unironically locked it in. Matching the pro draft, maybe.
No,
But the Yoni and the Sejuani coming through too. So
yeah,
both
so
sides, the first 3 picks are super good.
yeah, I haven't seen Sejuani be played much either. A lot of people really count that champ out, but she definitely has very good ganks. She can gank from multiple, you know, positions, and the ult definitely kind of increases tower dives and everything like that. But the Vigar also being banned. So
Yep.
Vigar being a flex pick, and then the Malphite getting banned as well. We saw Malphite played yesterday that was unkillable. Like he just would not take any damage all game. In the late
Malphite
game.
can be really scary. And another jungle ban coming out. Looks like they are targeting Nightmare. I believe is a Rengar one trick, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
So 2 bans at him.
And then Mordekaiser being the last ban. So we'll see what they pick here in the bot lane on the red side, as it looks like Volibear. I think they should all but confirm a role swap at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they're just possibly picking with how the pro draft, because again, Sejuani was locked in and they were throwing bans at Rengar. So, but the Jhin coming out for BaeDCarry. Jin's pretty strong at the moment. I like their comp too. I like how Sejuani and Yoni synergize together. It should make, you know, how the E works. It's really good because you have essentially 4 melee. So a lot of value there. But again, you have 4 melee. So it's kind of a pick your poison. But a lot of engage. And the Alistar coming through on the side of Big Schmeat gang.
Yeah, I like the Jhin Leona. Jhin Leona is really strong, able just to lock them down forever. I know that me and my support played a lot, but not as much recently because a lot of people kind of locked down on the fact that, you know, I'm a Jhin one trick, he's a Leona one trick. But that bot lane really good. Pantheon, also I didn't get to talk about this, is becoming a lot more of a popular pick in jungle and in solo lanes. So I've seen Pantheon in action in some solo lanes this week while playing with you know, Mailbox and everybody, and definitely can be a tilting champ if they get ahead.
Yeah, extremely flexible, being played in basically all 4 of the 5 roles. Obviously not ADC. But looking at the comps, who are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards BSG. I like Ashe a lot. She has 2 different things she can go. She can go the poke build, or she can just go the pure carry build. So I really like Ashe, and I like the Volibear. Volibear scales really well, Urgot as well. But definitely on the side of BFC, you have a Yone and a Jhin, and Yone can be very scary, especially with, you know, the 2 engages off of Leona and Sejuani being able to be locked down. So,
And my one question is, I didn't see any swap come across from Bruce and Intensify. I don't know if that's a bug on my end or if we're actually going to see an Ashe jungle or how this is actually panning out. I think it might just be some sort of like visual glitch because Nightmare's
no,
on
I will drop this bomb for you real quick. I will drop this bomb for you real quick. If they would have watched Intensify a little bit more, Intensify has actually been practicing his jungle a lot. So I've seen him playing jungle a lot right now. I didn't want to say anything because never want to give away someone's secrets, but I kind of figured he was going to play jungle for how much he was, you know, putting the time into it. But he is a fill player. Let's not, you know, take that out of mind. So he does play solo queue as a fill player. He's a support main, but he knows how to play every role really well.
What were you saying, enemy? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
So
that makes some
two
more sense.
jungle.
I thought we were doing it like the LCS order, so maybe it was bugged on my side or something. But yo, regardless, awesome. I wanted to just make sure I had everything nailed. And again, when we load in, we would be able to confirm that. But cool. I mean, great comps. I think I like BFC here. It seems like it's a lot easier to execute. I mean, Sejuani, you just press R, and then Leona follows up with that. And then there's also a Cho'Gath and a Yoni, and it's kind of disgusting, the front line that Jhin has. So it'll be good.
Especially with not a lot of tanks. Like Jin's not always the best at taking out tanks. He's more of an execute type champ, can take out squishies really easily. And
Yeah.
definitely with the Gale Force build that's going around right now, ever since Clips got nerfed on ranged champions, he hasn't looked as good against tanky opponents, but he's still the best ADC in the game right now, debatably. But I still like Ashe. Ashe is a really good pick into Jhin. She can do a lot against Jhin.
Okay.
She has equal range. She's able to slow him down, and then Leona, sorry, not Leona, Alistar being able to disengage the Leona and the Jhin. So bot lane will just come down purely to execution from my experience playing the Jhin Leona versus Ashe. And then
And I
obviously it's always
am
going to be a little bit easier of a jungler to pull off than Polyberry is, but neither jungler is being really that complicated.
I am starting to get loaded in here. Not yet in the game.
Yeah, so am I. I'm still at 0% right now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you in right now?
Yeah, it's loading. 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, I'm still at 0 for some reason. We'll see. We'll sync it up as we get in. Yeah, I'm at like, okay. I'm in. It's 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I'm
8.
at
Alright.
24.
You're at 24 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if mine's extremely fast or
Yeah, pause yours and tell me what time that is, and I'll tell you when to start.
40. Okay. I'm synced with you. So it's just Panda. And we do have some 5-man invig coming out on top side. They could catch out Cho'Gath here. He doesn't know. They're circling around. Guess
So
where could be caught out?
I don't know how far behind I am, but yeah, they're just now going in on the invade.
Yeah, I'm at 111, 112, 13.
Yeah, I'm at 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4.
Is there any way to speed yours up? Or else you're
Uh,
gonna be casting from behind, and I don't. That might not be the most.
so what?
Yeah, drag it as far as possible.
Yeah, it's at 138, 139, 140.
Yep, 140.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. Bam.
Missed a little bit of action, not able to commentate the early, so I don't know
Yeah.
much happened.
No, it's good. And here we have a standard clear. Volibear, though, opting for no leash. It'll be curious to see how fast this clear is that. Even though they're gonna know that Sejuani did start topside, so both junglers pathing into each other.
Yeah, we see pretty typical across the board. We do see Yone with a relic shield, but nothing too crazy coming out here from anybody in the builds. But like I said, I want to see some a little bit of action bot lane with the Leona Ashe.
Sejuani pathing up. Urgot ease in. He's gonna get caught out. This is starting the procs. He's gonna get locked up. One more and he gets the CC, the knockup. The E comes across and he's dead.
First blood over to the Cho'Gath. As soon as I say I want to see the action bot, top lane proves me wrong, and Sejuani just there at the perfect time for them.
And that's gonna be huge because I mean, Urgot's wave is in such a bad position too.
Yeah, we saw some trades out mid right there. The both players having to pop their potions. But nothing too big in the mid lane after that trade. Just looks like some potions were popped by the players. But
Yeah,
definitely that's a big poke lane.
Voli's posturing for a gank. He's in that bush waiting. He goes in. Castroma gets the stun. Intensify flashes. Gets the stun. Ignite burned. And a kill going over to Castroma.
Yeah, interesting that he decided to go back in there right there. I don't know if he could have done much, but Sejuani was coming that way. If he would have dragged him a little bit closer to Sejuani, maybe could have. Well, no, not really, just because she's pre-6.
Yeah, I
see.
think even if I don't think Sejuani even saves him there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's almost no way.
But that's good. I mean, Ignite's burnt out of Pantheon, so that's not always the worst thing. It alleviates some of the kill pressure, so Nightmare can just scale up. Although he did give up the kill, he still is up by 1 CS.
And we see some action going on in top right now between the Urgot and the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, and this is huge. Cho'Gath almost going down. He traded into a big wave. There was a cannon and 4 minions. And early on, I mean, the minions almost do more damage.
Yep, and now because Urgot did not have a potion, Cho'Gath did. He's gonna technically win that trade. We see Sejuani going in the mid lane. Much could be said there. Gets a early gank off the flash off of the Pantheon, which can be huge for Yone engages.
Sejuani pinging out the Valley Bear just for assistance. But again, this top lane, Urgot's going to be missing out on a lot of experience. So guesswork, you know, coming out ahead.
Yeah, with the early kills mid and the early kills top, still pretty even in gold. Just the BFC is a little bit farther ahead. But
Yeah, just 100 gold
anything
difference between the two.
Yeah, nothing huge. It's a whole 2 pots.
Yep.
See the Jhin and Leona backing as the wave was pushing a little bit, and Pantheon pathing towards bot lane, just getting vision control.
Yep, he hit 6, so now they have to just, you know, make sure they keep tabs on Pantheon.
It definitely, with his ult, has a lot of kill potential to whatever lane he wants. They can pretty much 4v1 anybody they want, or 3v1 if they go top.
And it looks like they are... Intensify is going to start up this Drake. So they don't have any vision of it, I believe. So he should just get this for free.
Yeah, with Sejuani top, I don't think they know about it. They're probably just now figuring out by the fact that Ashe and Alistar pathed up. But because of that back, they were able to push in the wave, and they're just going to get a free Mountain Drake, which is really good for the Volley Bear. It would have been a deciding one between the junglers being tanky champions.
I mean, regardless, it never hurts to stack the Drakes.
Yeah, definitely a lot of the games we've seen have been won through having Dragon Soul. It's been pretty huge for this league right now, having that Dragon Control. As we see Cho'Gath getting the grass proc right there.
Yeah, nice trade over to Cho'Gath. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, just because of how Cho'Gath's passive works to help him sustain. I would like to see maybe a little bit more poke out of him. Again, he's against Urgot, who is ranged, so it is a little difficult, but he's,
with that being
he's
said,
in
he's
a
still
good
doing
position.
very well. Yeah, he's doing very well. It looks like Ashe and Alistar are given a lot of respect over this Jhin and Leona, just letting them try and push in the lane, but they're pushing up now. The Alistar engages.
Nami goes in with the Pantheon all coming through. Heal burned from the BaeDCarry. I want to say that's worth over for BFC. They didn't get anything off of it. Pantheon had to burn his ult. There's no flash on Alistar.
Yeah, I definitely was about to say that kind of goes in their favor. They didn't really gain anything out of it. They actually lost more than they were able to gain.
Yep.
They probably could have got something done a little bit quicker if they would have timed it better with the Pantheon ult. But it looks like they're still going to go in.
Nami going in again. The Leona ult comes through. BaeDCarry. Ashe gets stunned up. That's the Ignite drop. Bruce has to burn the heal. BaeD's going to get the kill. And now we have a 1v1 between Alistar and the Jhin.
Yeah, not keeping in mind that when they went in. I don't know why they went in there. Just because Leona was already 6 by the time they went in, so they had the level advantage on him.
Yeah,
Very questionable decision there.
that's a trade that you want to see. Granted, Ash did in fact get a kill. We have the stun coming out. Cascaroma ignited, goes down. Nightmare securing the kill. Intensify stunned up. There's that E synergy coming through. He gets the kill onto Yoni, and then he could just get the kill onto JJB and a double kill over to the Volibear.
It's the first game we see of Intensify on jungle, and he's definitely showing that he is able to play the role. A lot of that practice coming through for him.
Yeah, they stood underneath the ult from Volley, taking a bunch of damage.
They also sent the Rift Herald mid to take a couple of those tower plates. I'm not sure if the timer was really running down, but I would have waited till someone got a little bit more plates off. But I don't know what the timer on it was. Shouldn't have been too low. So far, we're seeing a lot of action here. No team's really has too big of an advantage. Obviously,
Leona hits the stun. Jin misses a root. Leona gets caught out. Let's see if they can put down enough damage. Ult from both Leona and Ash. Ash doing a nice job. Rick might be dead here. And the kill going over to Bruce. Sejuani on the gank. And Alistar says, "Get away from my ADC."
Yeah, this Alistar is pulling out a lot of good plays right now.
Yeah. Good performance so far.
Like I said, I think this is 1v Nami's debut game.
Yep. Alistar taking the turret. Might go down. No. Super clean. Alistar tanking 4 turret shots and then getting out. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Pantheon, he started tanking it over the Volibear there. And he went down as well, but definitely a good play coming in through. They sent their 4-man down, like I said. You can 4v2 that bot lane, you can 3v1 the top with that Pantheon ult. So, playing
and
towards
at least he
Pantheon.
executed. All things considered, he just executed. But you are giving Yoni free plates mid. That turret already below half HP. So this will be 1 paid Yoni.
Yep. And now Ocean Drake is up, so we're going to start seeing some vision fights going here. As it looks like, well, the Ash Arrow is actually going to catch them out.
Yeah, and one thing to note, Intensify landing a 3-person E. He gets chain CC'd though. The Unstoppable coming through. Securing the kill. Here's the Urgot. Both laners TP down. This is a fiesta. And what just happened? A solid 3-for-2 trade in the favor of BSG.
Yeah, no team's going to probably be able to get Dragon off that. It's the Jhin and the
I'm mistaken. A 2v2. 2-for-2.
Yeah. Looked like it was going to go in BSC's favor for a second, and then you blink, and it goes back and becomes an even fight as soon as the TPs came down. So it does look like the Alistar is actually going to start up this Drake, and both junglers coming down. We could see another fight in the Dragon Pit. All of them are roaming down there. Cho'Gath tries to get an engage off, and the Yone ult coming through. And
Sejuani securing the Drake. Volibear going down. This is that E synergy coming through again. Castroma securing the kill onto the Leona. JJBA fan on Bruce. Triple kill over to the Jhin. So finally falling to Castroma. JJBA fan, I don't think you get out of this. And he does not.
That was some really smart plays by the Jhin right there. He knew he was not going to be in the winning fight with the Sejuani, so he just tries to land the W, and he gets the kill onto, I think it was the Ashe, So that was really smart by him getting the triple kill. A fed Jhin, always a good thing for any team, especially out of their whole comp. He's going to be able to do some massive amounts of damage, as it does
Yeah.
look like he's going for the Gale Force.
In this, we have 24 kills in 14 minutes. Yoni's 1, 4, and 4, with Sejuani being 1, 4, and 7. Yes, Pantheon has, less of a CS. He's still up by 600 gold roughly.
Yeah, another thing to note is that even though the Ashe has more farm, just that triple kill allowed him to be able to get Gale Force before Ashe was even able to get her mythic item.
Flash coming through for Nightmare, or Intensify, excuse me. They're looking to force this. The Volibear is the most fed person on the team too, so that's a fight that you don't want to take. Guesswork roams down from top. Sejuani having to flash over. Yoni's here too. He falls to Intensify, and that's a double kill over to the Volibear.
Yep.
Having himself a great game. He's 7-2-6. Currently the highest paid player.
That's insane. Intensify. I was excited actually to see him if he was going to play the jungle. I know he's not the biggest fan of ADC. He's very knowledgeable on ADCs if you ever talk to him about it, but this is so great for them. It's definitely working out for them better than it has been in the past. A lot of their games, they just seem a lot more coherent. Pantheon's going to hold down.
Yeah, the Ashe stun coming through. Chain CC'd with the Pantheon, and then the volley as well. Again, just soup. The teamwork here is great.
I think the support, the change in support is also making a humongous difference for them. Just an insane knockback by him to knock him into their team, kill the Leona. Just a lot of good engages, setting up the Ashe very well. This is a different BSG than we've seen recently.
And the pressure across the board, you had Valley take first turret, you had the Urgot get Rift top, and then you had all three of them with the Pantheon ult into the bot lane. Nightmare, you might just be dead here. That's mildly ambitious, having to ult away, but he goes back in, falling to cast Roma. I don't think you win this, JJ. Sejuani getting out, the flash stun coming through for the Pantheon. With the Leona on the posture to help peel him away, but some action in the top lane too. Grandmaster's gonna have to be careful, yeah, getting away with a sliver of HP basically.
Yeah, it was really close by him. He luckily had the shield up, but like I said before, if the Pantheon gets fed, he does a lot of damage. We saw him chunk down that Yone pretty quickly and almost kill the Sejuani as well.
Yeah.
Volibear going on and engage with the Cho'Gath.
A little ambitious. Gets jebaited. Guesswork's gonna go down. Oh, and he gets the ult off.
That almost went completely south for them, but they were able to get something out of it. Obviously, you don't want to continue to give these kills to Volibear, but
yeah, this Volibear is going to be huge. Because, I mean, your damage, besides, Yoni, who's really far behind, is Jhin.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm not sure if Jhin will be enough, especially against a Volibear.
That's a lot of a front line you have to go through. You have Volibear, Alistar, you have to be careful of, a fed Pantheon, and an Urgot.
The Rift Herald has been dropped top as looks like the top turret is going to go down.
Yeah, they have to be careful. There's 5 bot, but Urgot's got top for free. There's no TP from Guesswork. He chose a TP bot. They're going to trade a dragon for another turret, basically. Early smite out of JJBA fan.
Yeah, definitely good to get that Infernal Drake on their team, as we were talking about their damage lacking a little bit. But we're going to get a third Rift Herald charge on these towers.
Yeah, and that's huge.
I feel like they won that out, giving up that one drag to get 3 Rift-Tail charges out, taking 2 towers, but looks like he might be costing his life.
Yeah. Got a little greedy. You had to back, sir.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about a lot. Why I like their team comp too is that the Pantheon and the Volibear are the ones fed, but it looks like we're even gonna have more action for Infinite by Sentence.
Yep, the Alistar with the disengage. Huge Volibear all coming through. Yoni getting a lot of damage down. You love to see that. Jin's still full HP. Curtain Call coming out. One of them hits. 2 of them hits. 3. And the 4th, but Castroma does eat that.
Some great teamwork there for him to tank that last shot, protecting the Alistar very well, and then also protecting the Volibear very well. What I was about to say was, the reason I like this comp so much is even though we have the Volibear and Pantheon being the most fed, right now the Ashe is still super effective because she still has the slow, she still has the engages, so she can pretty much adapt to a second support on the map. That's why I really like that pick coming out whenever you have champions like Pantheon. Really helps out the team. Very versatile champion.
Somebody that provides some sort of utility is always, you know, great to have on your team.
Yeah, as we see, the gold lead has increased to about 5,000 gold in the favor of BSG. And Urgot just choosing to continue to push in top lane, create that pressure. As we see, Baron is up, but control of vision goes towards BFC right now. But both teams near the Baron right now. Looks like she's just going to take blue. Volibear's going to take his red.
If you are on BFC, the one question to be asked is, how do you come back from this? What's the win con? I think they just have to stop the bleeding and try to get, you know, get a pick and play team fight slow. But the ult coming out from Sejuani onto the Urgot, getting rooted up. Ashe ult's trying to disengage. He gets out of there. Leona burns the ult as well. And that's huge. I mean, you know, they just burned 2 ulties for nothing. And they're playing from behind.
Yeah, I was about to say a lot of their win condition probably come down to catching someone out, and they almost caught that Urgot out, but the teamwork of BSG is just coming through still throughout this whole game, being able to help him get out.
Yep.
But definitely, I think a big one is also trying to get, you know, the Yone a little bit more fed, because you saw the damage he was able to put out, and it looks like he's going to try and show that off against the Urgot.
Urgot getting caught out here again. And that's it. Yone getting the kill, but they engage onto the Cho'Gath. That is pretty beefy. I don't know if you want that. Volibear goes in with the ult. Pantheon coming across, stunning up the Yone. Flash stun onto Yone. He should go down. Double kill over to the Pantheon. Alistar's still here. 2-man knockup with the stuns coming across and the disposition. A triple kill over to the Pantheon. And that should just be Baron. That's huge.
Their teamwork is so insane that they killed one player on their team, made them so mad, they killed their whole entire team. They just caught one person out and they were able to turn it into 4 kills, but the FC was only able to, you know, find 1 kill off of catching someone out.
Yeah. It was... Yeah, you got the pick, but again, that's... You just lost a team fight, and Baron for that.
Yeah, I think that if Cho'Gath would have probably played that out a little bit differently, stayed closer to his team, I think he was just going for a little bit of vision right there. But if he was playing closer to his team, that probably would have went a little bit better for him, because they were able to chunk him down so much before he could get back to his team and try and make anything happen.
Yeah, and this is going to be another Drake. Should be going over to BFC. Cho'Gath is here. He secures it with the ult. But again, they're going in. They might all die for this. The Urgot all coming through, killing Leona with Ashe securing the kill. Killing Cho'Gath, excuse me, with Ashe securing the kill onto Leona.
Something to note though is that it is an Infernal Soul. So Yone and Jin with an Infernal Soul is pretty scary. I don't know if it'll be enough to bring them back into this game, but something to think about right there on when we're talking about how to come back in this game. But definitely the bleeding has gone pretty far, almost a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah. They are going to need a lot to try to. Jin steps up a little too far, gets stunned up, Intensify goes in, lands a stun onto the Sejuani. They're going to get this inhib, and they should back and possibly rotate for top.
Yeah, definitely. They still have the Baron buff up. Try and get it as much as possible. The Urgot's still pushing in that top. They're going to get the top turret and the top inhibitor for free right here.
Yep.
All 5 still alive on their team getting those.
And they are choosing to reset.
Not a bad Baron play out of them. They were able to get the 2 inhibitors. It's going to keep BFC locked in their base pretty hard.
So. Yeah, it's honestly, this is a great performance coming out for BSG.
Yeah, like I said, definitely a different BSG than we've seen before. Definitely want to know a little bit more about 1v Nami. Came into this team, and now they just look so much different, so much more fresh.
All I have to say is I'm a fan. 1v Nami making plays.
Who would have guessed it? 1v Nami comes in, Intensify goes to jungle, and you find the perfect success.
Intensify coming in, landing the stun onto Cho'Gath, the beefiest, the 2-man knockup, the Ashe all coming through too. It might not even matter. They should just be dead here. Ashe killing Leona. Urgot killing the Cho'Gath. He just presses R, hits R again, and that's it. The execution comes through.
It looks like your only front line right now is the Sejuani. I don't know if that's going to be enough to take down this Volibear. As we see these Jin ults coming through and doing no damage to this Volibear.
And we are, I believe that should be game. Okay, cool. Yeah, was born ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for anybody you want to bring in here. Bring me in, preferably Intensified, but we get a Planet Awe. But how does it feel, man, coming off that game?
I mean, it feels definitely good to pick up another dub right now, for sure.
Yeah, I want to start this off a little bit talking about the 2 big elephants in the room being Intensify in the jungle. I've seen him practicing it a little bit, and then bringing in 1v Nami onto the team.
Yeah. So what's the question?
I just want to know what you thought about all that. What changed between everything?
I mean, the dynamic of the game is much different when you have, a player as good as Intensify in the jungle, when the game, it doesn't really revolve much around BaeDCarry right now, and having someone who could, just move around the jungle a lot, better, definitely benefited the team greatly. We were able to unlock mid and top a lot more and, win lanes.
Yeah, I mean, that was a super
play.
dominant performance too. We were commenting on how well you guys all played together. It was cool to see you guys just, transition from last week into this week in such a dominating manner.
Yeah. And
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, because you mentioned Intensify and 1v Nami, and 1v Nami was a great pickup in addition to subbing for Sammy this week, and she did an amazing job.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. A lot of really good plays on the Alistair. I was expecting a Nami pick, but I guess that would have been a little bit too obvious for us just coming out. But
Yeah.
definitely compared to the other games and talking to Intensify before he had this, he was really confident coming in, and you guys definitely showed up. The teamwork was so much better. Do you guys feel like the team atmosphere, like the team, you know, work was a little bit better just based off the Intensifier? You guys think you just came into this a little bit more prepared?
I mean, the preparation has been the same as every week. I think we probably had a better game plan this week, but obviously big props. Having Intensify in the jungle, it changes the game. Like I said, because you have a player as good as Intensify being able to be everywhere on the map, or at least, like I said, have more of a presence on the map, um, and being able to kind of push us in the right direction.
So with
Yeah.
that all being said, who do you think the MVP of that game was for your team?
I mean, as far as MVP goes, I honestly think, as far as like the team fights and all that, I think it was the Alistar. I think it was 1v Nami. Just set up every team fight so well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
She seemed like she knew what she needed to do. Like I said, it even impressed me that she tanked 4 turret shots on the dive bot where Pantheon executed. Um, and like I said, it was refreshing. It was like, who is this? Is this Core JJ? What is this? But it was great. Like I said, it was a great game to watch. It was a bloodbath. The team fights were awesome. You guys did a good job, like I said, with the macro transitioning everything. We had at one point, you guys 3-man rotating for bot where Valley pushed mid, and you guys rotating for Rift Herald. So you guys didn't. I mean, you guys just kind of slowly strangled them. There
Oh, it
wasn't
was
any objective.
there was no slowing down. It was one thing after the
Yeah,
other. There was no time in between to say, "Oh, we're just gonna farm waves and this, that." No, it was, we got a lead and we're like, "All right, let's start getting around the map, getting this shit done."
So do you guys know who your opponent is next week? And how do you feel if you do? How do you feel going into next week?
I mean, no clue who our opponent is, but this one definitely boosts our confidence, and we're gonna be bringing the same energy into next week.
I'm
awesome.
excited to see it.
I'm hyped
Hello.
up.
Hey, so talk us through that game. I know
Um,
I know it's a pretty broad question, but
that's pretty broad. You
your
have to narrow it
your
down
your
for me.
draft, is there anything you guys would have changed? What about the
Why? What
Yoni?
What do you think about my He picked it. It wasn't my choice.
Gotcha.
He picked it, and as you guys saw, we role swapped. We wanted to. We thought maybe that this was the game plan. We wanted to change something up because obviously it wasn't working. But this game didn't really work that well, and I think that our unity is not really that well on our team. Um, I know my teammates are in the Twitch chat, so like I'm not saying this like behind their back or anything. I think we all kind of agree that we don't really have a clear game plan of what we want to do. Like many different people want to do different things, and that's not a bad thing. Okay, overall that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that people want to do like want to be proactive, is what I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys had a sub in the support role. How do you think they did this game?
I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. None of us have ever played with him before, except for Nightmare. It's Nightmare's friend. None of us have ever played with him before. It's someone who's the same rank as our support from before, so obviously they don't really play League that much, which is fine. Like, it's a game. Like, I'm not gonna blame someone for having no life, or I'm not gonna blame someone for having a life. I should
Yeah.
say.
League is life.
Well, no,
League
I'm,
or
I'm
else. That's it, right?
no, I'm saying.
No, I go ahead.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, are you wanting me to flame them?
Yeah, no, I
No,
guys
no, no.
how
I
you
thought
guys
she
said
had some pretty
there
good
was a
points.
lack of there was just a difference, right? You guys didn't mesh. You're like, here's a silver one support. We have a silver one support. Maybe he's like a puzzle piece. You tried to fit it in, it just didn't pan out, right?
Yeah. I feel like we just tried too many different things out in one game. Obviously had to have a sub. We role swapped. Um,
There was a lot of action bot lane too. So like, I mean, you had Panth alting bot lane. and then you had the
Mhm.
Volley Bear 4-man bot. It
Yeah, Cast
is
Silver
there
played
any,
really well this game.
yeah, is there anything you guys would have changed draft wise?
Oh yes. Definitely. I like I said, I feel like we don't really have a game plan. I feel like as the picks are coming, we usually like are kind of like hurrying up because like I said, we don't really have that like as much unity of a game plan. Like I feel like we just kind of need to get a little more organized. I feel like we won. I mean, like, you saw the first game. Like the first game, we all played. I'd say everyone on the team played well. The very first game, we all played well. Like it took obviously it took Nightmare to finish the game off for us. He played really well that game. But I was saying before, like obviously I could be a Monday morning quarterback all I want, but I'd say if I were to go back in time and reset my memory, I'd still probably pick the exact same draft. Because I just comfort picks I think is what we were good with. Nightmare was confident in himself and decided to pick Yone. I don't see myself ever changing that. Like, gotta trust my mid laner. I didn't say anything wrong with
Yeah.
it. I still don't say anything wrong with it. I think it was just an unlucky game. Obviously me on the Sejuani. I could do better on the jungle. Definitely. I did play. I felt like I did good early with that first blood on the top for the top lane. I think definitely don't put him on the Cho'Gath if I'm gonna gank him first. Is probably
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys skirmishing a lot early on. Do you not think that maybe just waiting for the late game, trying to scale up, would have probably been better?
Oh well, yeah. Like if you were in our comms, you probably would have wanted to die. Like that was what I was calling for the entire time. I
Okay.
think everyone that was like probably the one thing that we were all kind of I would say that we're all like aware that we need to scale for late game, but like obviously there were some mismatches with and like I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything I say. Like people make mistakes. It's a video game, and like obviously I take it seriously, but I'm just saying that to say it's like it's not the end of the world. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
people shouldn't be demeaned based on a play they make in League, and that's coming from someone who's been permabanned 8 times in this game. I've come to the conclusion that basically our players make mistakes. Like Alex obviously was looking to make a proactive play when we were trying to pick that Urgot, and he got caught out, which we all talked to him about it. Like, not talk to him about it as if he did something wrong. Like, we all talked about it. He explained what he did, and like we're all aware of how that happened. So obviously, there's no reason to push it even further than that. I feel like he did a really good job that game. He did, like, basically what it's coming down to. If I had to redraft my team, I would pick every one of my teammates again over anyone on the enemy team.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's going to go through their trials and tribulations as a team. That's kind of what builds you, what kind of, cements you together overall, how you guys synergize together and how you guys fall into place. The one question that I did have, though, too, is after they took Baron, you guys rotated down for Drake. I think it was your guys' third Drake. I think it was the second Infernal.
Yes, it was
It
the second
seemed,
Infernal.
yeah. After that happened, I think the game just was blown open because they got such a lead off that. Yeah, you guys got the Drake, but I think I'm almost positive at least 4 people died for it. So were there any macro decisions that you thought could have changed the game?
I'm gonna be honest with you, that game was not winnable, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm just gonna answer your question. No, there's literally nothing we could have done. I think at that point, like obviously you can win with any comp, but the Pantheon and the Volibear got fed, so we literally couldn't do anything early game.
Yeah.
It was a matter of time before Ash got fed because they were being boosted by their teammates. And like we were behind, right? So even if we did scale back into the game, we have a Cho'Gath and a Sejuani.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what are
you
they
do
gonna?
have
They're gonna scale
a
into a
good
rock.
Yoni too.
Like we had a
But yeah,
Jhin,
yeah.
but Jhin is not really the bet. Like it would have to be a 50-minute game for Jhin to make a difference that game. Like I'm serious.
Yeah. No, I know. That was
We were
one
talking
looming
about that
question.
We were talking about that going in, and I don't want to keep you for too long, but after you saw the team comp, one of my more questionable picks that I want to ask about was the Sejuani. I think you said something a little bit earlier about that just being comfort, but I haven't seen Sejuani being played a lot, so can you just tell me a little bit about it? Like I said, I don't want to keep too much of your time.
I'm
You've
gonna be
played it in
honest.
the past, right? You said it's a comfort pick
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. It was one of my first mains when I first started playing League. When I did the role swap, it was one of the first champions I considered playing. Obviously, there's other champions I could have played, but I'm not gonna drop that right now because as of right now, nobody knows what the hell I play in the jungle. As you can
Yeah.
see, everyone keeps banning my Vygar because, I mean, enemy literally made a rule about it because no one knew what the hell to ban me for. I mean, not like it mattered though. I just grief every game.
Yeah, the ultimate 200 IQ. But yeah, I mean, it was good to watch. The Sejuani, to be honest, it was nice too, because you did have synergy with the Yone, the Leona, and the Cho'Gath with how the E functions. But I guess, is there any closing thoughts, anything that you want to kind of address before we close it up? Or I don't know, Panda, if you have any more questions.
I don't have any more questions yet. Just what you guys think maybe you need to do next week.
Basically next week, I think we play to have fun, honestly. Because every team in this league sucks, and we are better than any of them. And if we lose, it is because
Limit testing,
You
right?
we lost on purpose. We lost on purpose. I'm gonna be honest.
All
with you.
right.
This game we actually threw. It was in protest to enemy because I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. We protested to enemy because we can.
I like the attitude.
Yep. And that's it. Panda, that was a fun game to watch. I mean, BSG came back in dominating performance, which was great. Intensify on the jungle, and the 1v Nami, impressive performance. And that's it. I think we have one game for the week. I don't know. I don't recall who the two teams are, but we should be back maybe tomorrow, depending on when they schedule it. And that's it. That's gonna be all from me. I appreciate you guys coming out. Panda, I don't know if you have any closing thoughts, but again, it was great. Great game.
No, I don't have any closing thoughts. You pretty much said everything I was going to say. Just the two performing players out of Intensify, and 1v Nami. But that was a great game. I'm looking forward to seeing next week. I'm not sure if there is a game coming up tomorrow, but a lot of really good games this week. Yeah, there's no more games. I think that game got canceled, but yeah, very impressive week. Hopefully next week brings even more.
Yeah, this week did dictate NBBC as the sole undefeated team. So that's cool. But again, guys, we had a great week in the league. I appreciate everyone that came out. It was fun. That's going to be it for me. And yeah, if we're not back tomorrow, have a good weekend.